Self. Hey, how's it going? Well, creative quarantine has ended and exciting. It was quite the ride. It was amazing. Got a lot done, learned a lot, and I'm still, riding high on it. So still doing some work, still trying to get some things in, still trying to get some things done, but I think all in all, I probably did about 50 something pieces of work, including, and I feel like I got all the things that I wanted done, which is exciting. Let me just put some light on myself here. I'm like, oh, I'm looking. There we go. We get some light. So, um, so definitely got the things that I wanted done. Like I said, I didn't come in with a lot of preconceived, like I want to get um putting my hair back, I can see like 75, 80 pieces done, but just kind of wanted to jumpstart um, my year, my art year. And I feel like I've done that with about close to 50 something pieces, which is pretty exciting. And this is a little one that I finished. Which was a part of it. And this is one that I have had in my studio for a while and just had never finished. So, stuff like that. And I just have to put some black lines on it. But yeah, this was one that I don't know. It's been sitting in the drawer for a long time. And so this actually gave me an opportunity to finish some stuff. And I've always liked this piece. I love the flowers on it. So got a chance to do that and made some really cool. One of the things that I hadn't done was I wanted to do some jewelry because I like doing jewelry. And so I got a chance to make these really cool um, bracelets. I call them cuffs and they just go on. It's a copper. I think I just, my arm is a copper and resin bracelet, which is kind of cool. And I just look at just scuffed up my arm. Lotion. I need some lotion. So, but I got a chance to make these, and these were fun because I was having a lot of fun making these little resin pieces. Hey, Karen. I was making these really cool little resin dots out of like leftover resin that I had in my studio when I was making sculptures or different things like that. Making sculptures and things like that. So I was like, what am I going to do with these darn things? And I just kept making more and more, and they were fun. And I had no idea what I was going to do with them. And one of the things that I had wanted to do is some jewelry because I had started doing jewelry before the creative quarantine, and I wasn't quite sure about what I wanted to do because I like doing cuffs and I normally put cuffs. I normally make cuffs, like right before the holiday and put them in the little shop that I have, my little Betty's Corner where I sell vintage table linen. And so I normally make cuffs and people buy the cuffs. And so I was like, oh, I wanted to do something a little different. And so I was making like these little clip-on earrings, very artsy fartsy clip-on earrings that I liked. And they were cool to me. And so I was making those. And so when going into creative quarantine, I wanted to do a little more jewelry making. And we were coming to the end of it. And I'm like, I haven't made any jewelry. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, that and finishing up my books, my 3 books that I still haven't finished. But this is one of the things that I wanted to add. Hey, keep working. Hey, LaJean. And so I was like, okay, so I was sitting here the other night and I had gotten out some of my copper and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to bend up some of the copper and just plop these on there. And I thought, and I just put them on there just to see what they look like. And I was like, these are really cool. The colors really cool. Like the reds were really cool and the blue were really cool. And so I thought, these are awesome. So I love these. So just be looking for these when I do my little sale show because I'll have some of these really cool bracelets. On that, I'll be selling some of these really cool bracelets. And then, I like clip-on earrings because I don't do the pierced ones. And so I made these little darling clip-on earrings, and these are great. I love them to death. Look at that. So I made these really neat clip-on earrings too. Look at that. And so they're resin and metal leaf. And so I think I look gorgeous. Like, uh, my gorgeous little clip-on earrings. You probably can see them better. Let's do the blue ones. I'll put the blue ones on. Well, the blue ones might just blend in with me too. I don't think I made any red ones, so you'll just have to do blue. And I thought I made some red ones, but I think it's just the blue ones. Look at those. They're just like little dots, and I just love them. So I have these really cool clip-on earrings that I made too. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I've made so many of these little dots. So check this out. I even made some for my hat, little pins. So I made little hat pins, see? So you can put them on your hat or wherever, you know, if you have a hat or you have a scarf that you want to put a little pin on. These are cool. So they're resin and metal leaf. And I really like them because I had so much fun, like just putting the metal leaf on the insides of them. Can you see that? Well, hopefully you can see that. But that was the fun part of making these and making my little clip-ons. And so I'm actually going to, today I went to the store and yes, I'm going to make some non-clip-ons. They'll be the pierced ones. So I'm going to make some little pierced ones too. So you can put them in your little pierced ears. But yeah, so these were a lot of fun to do and I just loved them. And so I did some other stuff. Like I finished, I have to just do some lines on here and I'll finish that up. But the other thing is I had a lot of fun making with this. So I had to, my biggest problem was trying to figure out how to adhere this. Because what I did was I resined it. So this is resin, even though it's moving, is resined. And so this cool mask, I really like it, and I'm going to do some more. And so I was like I had to call my friend LaShawn and say, hey, how am I going to adhere the plumage, because that's what it is, my plumage to the mask. And so LaShawn is the everything guy. And so he told me, he was like, use caulk or things like that. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I should have that here at home. I should have some at home. And so I really like how this turned out. I love the plumage on it. And so I'm just going to, I think I'm going to put some leather on the back. So that's what the back looks like. So I'm going to look at doing some leather on the back and just finishing it off with a leather back. And then this will sit up on, it has a little stand. Hold on, let me grab the little stand. Don't go away, stay right there. So I'm going to grab the little stand for you to see. And I'm going to grab this too, because I want you to see this too. So let me grab the little stand over here. There it is. All right, so I'm going to come back over and put the little stand right there. And then I'm going to show you guys the piece that we worked on that last night, because I want you guys to see it, but I'm going to put it over there. So this is the little stand that it's going to go on. And I'm just going to put it here. So it's going to go like that on this stand. It'll be, I think I got it right. So it's not attached yet though. So it'll sit this way on the stand. And let's turn it that way. So it'll sit like that on the stand. So it'll be a really nice little mask piece. I love all the plumage though. I don't want to put it on the stand because this is still not dry yet. So I don't want to put it on the stand yet. So I'm going to put it over here. While it's drying, I'm going to put it out of the way. Pop. It's like, don't let anything happen to it. But this is a really cool stand. You'll be like, what kind of stand is that? A doll stand. Put your doll in it. So, but I like it. You know, it's repurposed. It's a repurposed stand. And then I want to show you this piece. This is the piece we worked on the night before with the resin. So if you were around during that time, the wood piece that we did with the resin, look how cool that turned out, right? I really, really love this piece. I think it turned out pretty awesome. These are the little dot things that we used that they're these that we did the earrings and the bracelet out of. And you can see how many I've made. I love making these. Now I'm just making them. And so you can see how many I've made. And what I did was is I did the resin on it. But I also painted because before that I was just gonna do it, but then it was like paint, please paint. And so I did the paint on it. And then once I resined it, after I painted it, I resined it. And then I just put these on after I did the resin and just plopped them right into the resin while it was still wet so that it could dry into the resin. So they literally dried into the resin, and I just absolutely love them. And then I attach the mask. This is a mask that I made out of leather. Yeah, yeah, I'm really live. Hey, Leanne. So this is a mask that I attached, and I did the mask out of leather. I should be asleep, but you are so funny. And so I did the mask out of leather, and then I attached it. And the way I attached this is I actually used the upholstery nails. So I nailed it. It's done in with upholstery nails. So I really love this piece. I love how it turned out. It's got resin. I did resin because I wanted it to shine really nicely. So this was a really cool piece. I really love what's happening. So you will definitely see me making more of these because I've been really I love doing these wood pieces. So this is actually one of my second wood piece. And you guys, I don't know if you remember, I did the crown, and the crown I'm still working on. I'm still working on the crown because I'm not quite sure how I want to finish it. So, and this particular piece, this was my Take Me to the King piece. I found this crown. I can't get over how much. Yeah, it was a lot. We produced a lot. I produced a lot. So this particular crown piece, I love. I found this piece of wood out near the creek. I found this out near the creek, and it just reminded me of a crown. And as soon as I found it, the title "Take Me to the King" that's the title I got, and it just reminded me of the King in Christ. And if you were here the other day, I talked about the colors that I added to that last piece and why I added the reds and the blues and how they had a dual meaning. The colors had a dual meaning. And that's, when I add colors to things, the colors actually have a meaning. Like the blues in here is the blood, the water, the washing of the word, and purple, the royal purple, and then the reds is the blood of Christ. So there's a lot of meaning to things, especially when I'm working on wood, because a lot of times when I'm working on wood pieces, I'm thinking about a lot of times I'm thinking about Christ's sacrifice is, he was sacrificed on a tree, and I'm always thinking about that. Anytime I'm working on wood pieces, the other thing I'm thinking about is how people were actually lynched on a tree. So those are a lot of times when I work on wood pieces, those are some of the things that I'm thinking about in the process of creating these wood pieces. So the other piece that I worked on, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is an absolutely phenomenal piece and I love it. I'm going to try to bring it over so you guys can see it, but I have not attached it yet, but I want to bring it over. And it's a big resin piece. So today I'm just showing you all of the really cool stuff that another piece that I did, but this is a really cool piece and I really love it. It's just a large piece. So I'm going to bring it over so you can see it. And I really, really love this piece. So, and I love what's going on with it. And this is a resin piece that I did right here. So, and I'm going to kind of lift it a little bit so you guys can see it. And this is one of the pieces that I completed during the Creative Quarantine. And it's actually and you probably have seen this piece. You can see it slipping because I haven't attached it yet. You've probably seen this piece in my collection, my bronze collections, but this is actually a resin. And what I did was I leafed it and I painted it. And then I'm going to adhere it to this blackboard. And I absolutely love the black that's around it. I love the color. I'm going to sit it over here. Sit it over here on top of something. So that's one of the pieces that was created during the creative quarantine. I have other ones. I'm trying to see because I want to show you some of the things that were made during that time. I know. These, I'm going to show you something that was totally different, something that I made that I have never done before. We're going to come back here because I have them back here. And what I did was, these are actually bamboo. Look at those. These are bamboo. Look at those. Isn't that amazing? And so I have never painted on anything other than like canvas or canvas boards, watercolor paper, things like that. And my friend LaShawn, he is like the king of painting on things. And so during that time, I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to try some of the stuff he did. And so I did this, and this is done in a method that I learned from him and Pancho, which is an oil resist. And Pancho would be proud because I said that right. So I did that in not an oil resist, is an alcohol resist. He would be an alcohol resist. And so I did the same thing here. This is another, and this is a bamboo vase. So it's a bamboo vase. And I did gilding on it because I am like the queen of gilding. I love gilding. And so this is a bamboo vase. And I did the alcohol resist on these, which was fun to do. And so I got a chance to try out so many amazing things during this creative quarantine. I'm trying to see, I want to show you the alcohol resist in just a painting. So let me grab one of the paintings that I did. Hold on. I'm going to grab a couple of paintings I did. So this is when I first tried, I brought these over because this is when I first tried the alcohol resist. And I did it, and here, look at this. Look at the background. Can you see that? This is an alcohol resist. And then what I did was I went back and did ink drawings on top of it. So I did a couple of those ink drawings on top of my alcohol resist pieces. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I learned so much during the creative quarantine. Absolutely learned just amazing things. And all of these pieces will be at the Art for the Soul Gallery. Whichever pieces that they pick out to go. But this was a fun method, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of those because I just love those. So I'm actually looking at doing an entire series of pieces this way, large pieces. And, I like to work large. So looking at doing an entire series in this style of pieces. The other thing I really, really enjoyed was all of the collaborations. We got to do some really fun collaborations with each other. I got to do some collaborations with Larry Pancho Brown and LaShawn and Deborah Shedrick. You definitely want to look them up. They are amazing, amazing artists. I'm looking forward to some of them. I didn't get the pieces yet, so I'm still looking forward to doing even more. Collaborations, like Karen Clark is sending me something and I sent things to her. So we're still sending things or still waiting for things from some of the other artists, which is awesome. So we'll still be painting and drawing and doing stuff like that. This has been an amazing opportunity for me to kind of jumpstart my year. And that's what this was about for me, is getting my year started in art, doing artwork for that first part of the year. And you're talking about 31 days. It's 31 days. And I really miss everybody. It's like I remember the first Saturday, last Saturday, we didn't do an evening show. We just did an earlier show. And I was sitting in here working, I was painting and I thought, whoa, I really miss everyone. Nobody's here, because we were talking and chattering and all of that kind of stuff with each other. And then all of a sudden, nothing. And then Sunday's show was very short. And so it was almost like, wow, there's nothing left. Did you know? I did not. I did not know. I have a question. I'm gonna put that. So no, I did not know. I knew Poncho and I knew LaShawn. Those were the only two artists that I knew, and that when we started the creative quarantine, and then Deborah said we had passed each other at some point or another in an art show. But other than that, I only knew LaShawn and Poncho for the creative quarantine, and it was pretty interesting because I really felt like I connected with so many other artists during the creative quarantine, and just being able to talk to people, and especially during the paint and creative times where we were just creating all together on the screen. Those are the times that really, really um, kind of that I really, really miss, because I felt like, we talked to each other, we exchanged ideas, we exchanged comments. And so those were the times that were really a lot of fun for me. A lot of fun. And I really enjoy and I kind of miss it. But I still do talk to, like, Karen, and I still talk on the phone, which is great. And I'll always talk to LaShawn. And LaShawn and I talk a lot, and Poncho too. And hopefully, like, even with some of the other ones, like Michelle was great. I loved her work. So I'm hoping to keep in touch with her, and Deborah for sure. So there was a lot of people that I'm definitely going to look forward to keeping in touch with. And yeah, life does happen, and then we kind of lose contact with each other. But I'm kind of hoping that in the process we'll kind of all try to keep in contact with each other in some form or another, and just look forward to doing this again at some point. That's one of the questions that was asked, is like, would I do this again? I'm like, heck yeah, I would. It did take a bit of a toll on the family, but they all bounced back. I cooked them a great meal tonight. I did. I went down, I made sure that we ate and sat at the table and had a great little conversation. It was fantastic. So I am going to be working on some stuff tonight. That's why I'm up here. But I thought I'd check in with you guys because I hadn't been on in a couple of days, or was it one day? It was either a couple of days or one day. I can't remember. Everything's kind of merging. Everything is merging. And if you saw my studio, you'd be like, you need to clean up. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing some cleaning up, because I think I used every inch of my studio during this time. Every table, even on the floor, I did resin pours on the floor. I had to do a little cleanup on my floor because I got resin on my floor. But, I feel like I've used every portion of my studio. So my studio was definitely properly used during this time. And like, yeah, because there was nowhere to walk. It's like every time I came in here, I had to find another direction to get to where I was going, to get to where I was going. So, but I just wanted to kind of check in and show you some of the really cool stuff that was done and was made during the creative quarantine. And I'll be hopefully airing things throughout this week here and there, showing you a few more things that were created during the creative quarantine. And I'm still going to be doing some work because I still have a few pieces that I hadn't finished. I have one piece that I just absolutely love it so much. I haven't touched it. I did an alcohol release resist on it. Hold on, let me grab it. And I have another wood piece that I'm going to work on. But this one, let me grab it. I'm actually going to be doing a flower on it, but I just love, look at that. I just love what I did with the alcohol. till I'm like, I don't know if I want to paint on it. I might just want to leave it like this. Isn't this fantastic? It just looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm thinking I'm going to put a flower in there, just in ink, just pen and ink flower. But I love this big spot right there. So I haven't painted on it yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to actually do just pen and ink on it, like I did the other pieces. So I'm not going to do a lot on it because I don't want to disrupt the pattern of the alcohol resist. And then I'm going to actually start a new wood piece. So this is the new wood piece that I'm going to work on coming up, and it's going to be on the table today. So it's on the table today. So you guys will be able to watch me work on this wood piece. I'm not going to start it tonight. I'm probably going to start this tomorrow because I have to look at it. I have to look at it. I have to feel it. I have to see what direction I'm going to go with it. It has some really interesting parts to it. Like, I don't know if you could see here, it has this right there. I'm going to turn it this way. So it has some really interesting parts to it. So I'm really looking forward to working on this piece of wood because you can see in here it has that's really interesting. I love it when wood has interesting things to it. So I'll be using some paint on it. I'll be using some all kinds of things. It's like this piece of resin, you see that? I have this piece of resin. It looks like a little head to me. It was just some extra resin that I had poured into something, and then this is what it turned out to be. And it's just kind of cool. So it'll probably end up somewhere on here. This one will probably end up somewhere on here doing something or being something. And that's the cool part about these things is that I'll just add little things here and there that I find. And because it's an assemblage piece, and so it'll have different things added to it. But I'm looking forward to doing this piece of wood and getting it finished. So I am doing like I don't know, just different pieces of wood. And I have several pieces. My son bought me some over Christmas too. So I'm going to work on this. So I'll probably start this tomorrow. So definitely tune in tomorrow evening, just so that we can get that wood piece started. So tune in tomorrow evening and I'm going to start working on that wood piece sometime tomorrow. So I'm not going to stay on long. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that I was, about creative quarantine and show you some of the things that was going on. I just, all right. See you later, Leanne. And thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Several of you tuned in tonight, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Love your art. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I love doing it. I had so many things going on with that, and I just loved doing creative quarantine. It was pretty awesome. Also, LaShawn told me to keep working. Karen, why am I awake? It's only 9:12 here. So, but yeah, definitely thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I'm going to kind of not go to bed, but look at some of the other things that I want to get done tonight because I am going to be working a little bit tonight. But tune in tomorrow and I'm going to start working on that wood piece tomorrow. I'll probably tune in a little earlier. Like I said, it is what 9:12 here. So I'm probably going to start working on that a little earlier tomorrow. And then I'll tune in with you guys because I'll be home all day and I'm cleaning my studio. So I might tune in a little bit while I'm cleaning my studio too, a little earlier, like in the afternoon or something like that. So come hang out with me. All right. I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. I keep pushing the button, but it doesn't do anything.